I mean, this is stunning to see a 22-year-old man. I gotta tell you something. 30 years. 30 years I've been here. This is one of the top 10 to 15 highest blood or breath results I've seen in my career.
We looked it up, Judge. It's beyond death. There's a death and then there's one after it.
Austin.
Right to the quote in here.
Mark Charles John Austin, 242-643-179. Everybody's name?
Thank you, Judge. House Counsel Michael Baldwin, P. 65417 on behalf of my client, Mr. Mark.
Name, sir?
I'm sorry?
Your name?
Oh, Mark Austin.
This is going to be a plea. They're going to dismiss the super drunk and he's going to plead to impaired.
Yes, Judge.
You did a great job on this one. Judge. If you plead guilty to operating while impaired, possible penalties are up to 300 fines, 93 days jail, 360 hours community service. Court costs are all of those 4 points. License suspension or revocation in accordance with your record. And your vehicle could be or might have to be immobilized depending upon your record. Do you understand that?
I do.
Did you sign the advice of rights?
I did.
Did you read it and understand it?
I read it and understood it.
If you plead guilty, you're going to be giving up all of those rights on that advice of rights, and we're not going to have a trial of any kind. You understand that?
I do.
You have any questions on your rights?
I do not.
You fully understand them?
I do.
To the charge operating while visibly impaired, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Were you operating a motor vehicle December 8 of 24 on Jefferson near Harrison and Trenton at roughly 12:32 in the morning?
I was.
How much had you consumed before you drove that vehicle on that date?
More than I thought I did.
Well, that isn't good.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What were you drinking?
Twisted teas.
How many of those did you have?
Well, I had a couple of shots of liquor, but also it was mostly twisted teas.
How many?
5 or 6.
His body weight.
Hang on a second.
He's good.
You're not going to tell me you had 5 or 6 twisted teas and 2 shots of alcohol, are you really?
No, I think I had more, is what I'm saying. But
do you remember how much you had?
I don't.
Is it possible you had somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 twisted teas or 20?
It's possible, yes.
When you were operating the vehicle, what happened?
So I was operating the vehicle.
This ticket says you struck 2 parked cars. Is that true?
That is true. Well, I'm not entirely sure. I was in a bit of a confusion.
Your Honor, we could, if the prosecution would be amenable, we could amend this to a no contest plea for lack of mental recollection based upon mediation. He did blow.
I know he did.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hearing this 2 twisted teas.
Your Honor, can we
get the city attorney in here for me, will you please?
It's the same as with the plea, but he doesn't listen. He doesn't have to establish factual basis. He can read the police report for himself and establish the factual basis.
Do you remember what happened?
Sir, I remember leaving my friend's house, and I remember the impact of the
I need
vehicle.
the police report too. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I remember leaving my friend's house, and I remember the impact of the vehicles. The airbags went off. There was smoke. There was
dust.
Yeah.
Ultimately, were you arrested?
I was, yes.
Were you administered a breathalyzer test?
I was administered a field sobriety test, and then I refused to do that because I felt that it was unnecessary. So I did breathalyze.
All right. You did the breathalyzer at the police station?
And the PBT.
I did.
And were the results at the police station 0.36?
Yes.
You stipulate that was an accurate reading for purposes of the plea?
Yes, both results based on the intoxication and mentos. Yeah.
Are you on probation or parole?
Not at this moment, no.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
Makes sense. Okay.
I got to tell you something. 30 years. 30 years I've been here. This is one of the top 10 to 15 highest blood or breath results I've seen in my career.
We looked it up, Judge. It's beyond death. There's a death and then there's one after it.
What are you doing?
You
didn't have 5, 6 twisted teas. I don't even know what a twisted tea is. They got so many different types of alcohol out there now. I don't even know what one of those is.
Iced tea beer.
Okay.
Iced tea beer.
Yeah, it's like alcoholic tea, you know, like a Long Island iced tea, but in a little can.
Do we need to do a no contest? plea?
No, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, thank you, Judge.
I'll accept the plea.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm just stunned that you were driving a car with 4.5 times the legal limit. I mean, you got a drinking problem, sir. I mean, I think you probably need our sobriety court to tell you the truth. And I'd encourage you to talk to him about it. I'm giving you a $2,500 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. No contact with the victims or prosecution witnesses. You're gonna have to purchase, possess, or consume alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. You're going to go to AA at least 4 times a week. You're not be on a SoberLink device by the end of the day at your expense. Now, we have a sobriety court. I mean, you're going to die. You keep it doing this. You're only 22 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
You know how high this result is?
They informed me of that. Yes.
I think you need sobriety court, young man, or you're gonna ruin your life. I'm gonna let you talk to probation. Take him over there.
Yes, Judge. I will.
Tell him what I said.
Yes, Judge.
Have him talk to Ms. Tessino.
Yes.
I'm ordering a screening and assessment. I'm gonna give you a sentence date.
I want to lay a little bit of a foundation. He doesn't have a car anymore. His concerns about probation have been noted. So he wants to make sure that he's not setting himself up.
All right, do you work?
It's not entirely stable.
Where do you work?
I do like under the table kind of like construction stuff.
Why don't you
sometimes.
get a job?
I've tried, I've applied.
Did you graduate?
I did.
There are all kinds of jobs out there. I mean, if I took my law degree away, my college degree away, I could have a job by noon. It's 11. It's what is it? 5 to 11. I think you're spending too much time sitting home drinking. Find a job.
I mean,
But I'm not
sir,
going to
I've
listen to
applied
this
at
as an
every-
excuse. Listen to me very carefully. You are going to die if you don't get yourself some help. I mean, this is stunning to see a 22-year-old man in here with a 3.6. It's stunning. You need to figure out a way to get here so we can get you some help. I'm just shocked what I've seen, but I can help you. We can help you, but you got to want to have help. You need sobriety court right now before it's too late. I'm telling you, when I see young kids with these types of elevated blood results or breath results, they don't just come in and out of the criminal justice system. They remain here until something really bad happens. And they end up in prison or jail for a long time, or accumulate such a record that they can't get a job salting fries at McDonald's.
I see.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. There's nobody else in here, but
Well, I should feel bad,
yeah, you should feel bad.
and I do.
SoberLink by the end of the day, please talk to them. I want them to talk to him about
Yes, sir.
sobriety court. We want to help you,
Thank you.
but you got to get a car. You got to be able to have transportation to get to testing. You got to be able to have a car to get to AA, to outpatient treatment, to meet with probation every week, to come and see me on status reviews every other week.
I think it's also important to note, because the prosecution was so generous, he has 3 months restricted with no hard suspension. So in essence, he has a driving. he can-
Too generous, in my opinion, but I try not to get involved.
Yes, Judge.
I'm good with it. I'm fine with it,
So he has a license.
but he's going to have to earn this.
Yes, Judge, we understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sober link device by the end of the day. And don't tell me you don't have the money. You need to get a job. You need to straighten out your life. You drove into 2 cars, parked. You had no business getting behind the wheel.
No, I didn't.
All right, now, that being said, I'm not your enemy here.
No, I know you're just, upholding the law.
No,
Job.
it's not that. I want you to understand how concerned I am about you. I really am. I mean, this is bad enough for somebody to have that. Okay, go talk about
Thank you,
sobriety
Judge.
court.
Have a nice
Sober
day.
link, end of the day, even if you decide not to get into sobriety court, you have to have one by the end of the day. Oh yeah, give me this. I'm just stunned here. Still, forgot to even get a sentencing date, Lisa. She's not out there, is she? She probably got tired of hearing me. Right? I'm gonna give you a sentence date in a couple weeks. Mr. Baldwin, you're here on the 13th, right?
That's good. That again, though, that's our Woodhaven court at 7:20. So,
Well, just go down there and get a sentence date. And you can talk to him about sobriety court on the way down, okay?
Yes.
Maybe we need to give him a little more
and the
time.
27th of February, it seems that
It'd be fine if he's getting into sobriety court.
If not, you want him here after a court to school program.
I think so.
Okay, I'll leave it up to the
Lisa,
director.
go down the hall and get your dates. Good luck. And then over to probation where you'll fill out a questionnaire, okay?
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Judge. Have a nice day.
Yes, sir.
Two.